Boom. Run on Virtua Fighter, something like that. Something like that. So if you don't know what's going on, Virtua Fighter 5 has been re-released for the PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5 consoles. And there's been a lot of controversy surrounding Virtua Fighter due to the fact that it is not a rollback netcode game. I think today what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over what's been discussed, what the debate is, why a free-to-play fighting game that's re-released, a beloved fighting game, beloved franchise, why would there be so much controversy surrounding it? And that's what we're going to talk about. Then we're going to try the game out, and then I'll give my opinion on the whole debacle. So why was this release so controversial? So like I said before, everyone's looking forward to this game coming out, and then when the buzz around it was coming out, people were like, wait a minute, you're telling me this game won't have rollback netcode? Because word started coming out about what's going on with the actual implementation of the online of this game. Recent fighting games sometimes use a rollback method for the netcode, but in this work, we are creating a mechanism to absorb the delay by a method other than rollback. We're also doing test play with overseas, and we can play without delay. Without delay. I mean, we know that's physically impossible due to the nature of reality. The problem with this is this comes off very much like they think the consumer is dumb. And usually, yes, that is true. But basically, this is a bunch of nonsense. This is meaningless mumbo jumbo that doesn't mean anything, and that's the problem. So once you start having this like marketing speak, people start poking around and asking the hard-hitting questions, and they get more and more concerned about what's going on here. This reminds me of Google Stadia when they said there was going to be like negative latency. Like, what the hell does that even mean? So it gave the same vibes. So somehow they invented absorb delay netcode, which has never been done before. But then it gets even weirder. Arturo, who's been a big proponent of Virtua Fighter 5 and pushing this game pretty hard, he noticed that when running Virtua Fighter 5 through NetDuma, that's like his fancy router that lets you know where you're connecting to and get information about ping and stuff like that. He realized he's not connected peer-to-peer with his opponent, and that they're actually connected to a Google server. So now it seems like it's not peer-to-peer. Like normal delay-based netcode is peer-to-peer. You connect directly with the opponent, and any latency you have is about the packets going from player A to player B. The further away they are, generally, the more delay there is. But it seems like both of them are connecting to a remote server somewhere. So you're not connecting player A to player B. There's a third party in the middle, some Google server that both players are connecting to instead. Eventually, kind of became clear that they're probably using Google Relay servers. And here's a map of some servers that the Google Cloud supports. And I'm not saying that this is 100% all the locations of the servers that Virtua Fighter 5 is using, but this is pretty much our best guess of what's going on because it seems like they're using Google servers. So potentially these are the regions where the servers are located, meaning if you're located near one of these servers, you will probably have a good connection because you'll have less latency. Say if you're in the Northeast, over here in the US, you have a lot of servers available, you're probably gonna have a good time. But if your opponent is instead in the middle of South America, in the middle of Africa, or somewhere out here in Russia, there's not many servers near them, so they're going to have a lot more delay connecting to the nearest available server. And also that means that delay can be one-sided, right? Both of you are connecting to the same server, one person's going to be closer than the other. So we know we have one-sided rollback in Street Fighter 5. This is going to be like one-sided delay. One person's going to have more delay than the other. It's not a great solution. If you're in the right area, you probably have a great connection. If you're in the wrong area, you probably have a bad connection. And that's just how it's going to be. This is what also drove a big divide because people in the FGC are kind of fed up with having bad online, right? They don't want to support games that they can't play online. It's COVID. We can't meet up in person. A lot of people don't live near these relay servers, so they have crappy online experiences. And this is what matters to them. On the other hand, people were saying that you should try the game yourself first, see how it performs for you before making judgment, instead of just saying no rollback, no buy, yada, yada. And on top of that, there were some statements in Famitsu, basically the producer of Virtua Fighter 5, Seiji Oki. They mentioned how there's nothing decided for Virtua Fighter 6 because this is a re-release of like a decade-old game, but they are using the re-release to let us know whether there are demands and potentials for Virtua Fighter. We want to hype it up so it can connect to the next one. So it seems like they're definitely using this release to kind of gauge interest in the franchise. So knowing this, there's some parties who are very much in favor of pushing people to enjoy the game, support it no matter what, whereas there are others who are saying, I don't want to support a game that doesn't have good netcode because what's the point? On top of all this, the game is $0. It is a free-to-play game that also offers DLC. So there's a lot of like you don't got to pay for it. but maybe the online isn't good, so you don't want to support bad online, but maybe you just play the game, try it out because you can do something good for the community who wants a new release. But I don't want to show a developer that I want to support bad netcode because I'm not going to pay for that. So there's a lot of nuance here, more so than initially meets the eyes. But this was a big discussion, and you know, I have my opinions on it, I have my thoughts, but I figured I would do the due diligence and at least just try the game out. So that's the plan. Virtua Fighter. Okay. I don't know any of these characters. So from my understanding, they redid a lot of the graphics. So I guess this is improved graphics from the original release. The only time I've seen Virtua Fighter was like 240p highlights of someone filming a CRT. I've never seen high quality YouTube footage of Virtua Fighter. Brad Burns? That's a sick name. That definitely feels like a Japanese name of like a bunch of Japanese dudes trying to sit around and come up with the most American sounding name they can think of. I might have to play Brad. So main menus. And this is cool. I do like this feature. This is ranked match footage from, I don't know if it's live or like replays of recent matches, but these are active ranked matches going on. Looks kind of stiff. Yeah, it definitely looks like a more stiff Tekken, I would say for sure. But I've never played this game, so I don't really know what it's supposed to be like. So let's try out tutorials. Why not? Where's Brad Burns? I almost have the facial hair. I almost have. I can't really do a connecting goatee though, unfortunately. Man, if I didn't cut my hair, I could have slicked my hair back. I don't know, his hairline's better than mine. I got the receding edges here. It's not gonna work out. Almost had my Brad Burns cosplay ready. Press forward to do a dash, back to perform a back dash. Yep, makes sense. I'm really questioning the texture they used for the training dummy. I'm not sure how much that's showing up on stream, but it looks like either styrofoam or concrete. Oh, you stop running when you get too close. Oh, that was weird. You can crouch dash? Why is it so funny to me? That doesn't look right. You can use the P to punch and the K to kick. So this is a punch, this is a kick. This is a punch, this is a kick. Punch, kick, punch, kick. Oh, there is a jump. Okay, guard while jumping. You can also press P or K during a jump for a jumping attack. Don't tell me what to do. If I want to jump and kick, I'm gonna do that. What? When standing close to an opponent, press P plus G to throw. These throws will not work if your opponent is performing a striking attack, so throws lose to buttons. Okay. There's a throw. What? Don't come near me. Why did you run into my throw? Press up plus P to hit your opponent while they're on the ground. See the command list for other down attacks. So this is a universal down attack. What? Why is he jumping? So I need to knock them down, but they don't tell me. They have not told me how to knock them down. That would have been great if it mentioned knock them down before doing this move. For example, try throwing them for the knockdown. So I gotta learn Oki right now. Here we go. Oh, jeez. What? Oh, it like homed in on them. This is the same input, but for some reason he just lunges like crazy when they're on the ground. Okay, it's an OTG. Yeah, did I say something that made you not think it was an OTG? The surprising part is this input does this when they're not knocked down, and then this input does this when they're on the ground. Do your OTGs options select which move they do based on if the opponent's on the ground or not? Oh man, let me stop reading chat. Press up or down for a defensive move. If you attack the CPU with counterattack, try to evade. Okay, we'll tap. Am I dumb? And now I'm entering some kind of stance. This doesn't count for some reason because this is must be a custom stance. I'm evading here. Okay, see, this is the generic sidestep, but he has some kind of cancel stance apparently from this move. Imagine not knowing fighting games and doing this and being pissed off. Like, I'm obviously evading, and then this just does not work. Oh, he has it from here also. some attacks can only be evaded one way, toward or away from the screen, and some can't be evaded. You can see the evasion direction for an attack and the detailed stats for command or free training. That's pretty cool. They give you that intel. During a defensive move, press all 3 attack buttons or all 3 action buttons to perform an offensive move. What? I don't know what that does, though. I'm not sure what the point of that is. Maybe it's canceling your recovery. They're not really explaining this well. Attacking from the side gives you more of an advantage than attacking the fronts. That's as fast as I can attack after a normal sidestep. So let's do... Is that faster? Advantage +4. Oh, it literally has more frame advantage on block. That's more frame advantage because I'm hitting their side? So there's a front, there's a side, and there's a back. Right? There's like 3 different states. I'm going outside the tutorial here. See, this is the advantage of streaming. You can have 655 people coaching you at the same time. Unfortunately, when doing a tutorial, you only have the one tutorial, and I can't have these extra questions answered. So, you know, I'm kind of going outside the bounds of the game here. Your opponent tries to throw you with a P+G throw. You can escape by pressing P+G. That's called teching. All right, let's tech the throw. That was weird. Huh. Oh, this is weird on this side. They're slowly introducing more things on the screen here. So they have this frame counter, which is counting how many frames have gone since the last input, right? Is that... Oh, and it tells you how long you've held the input. Interesting. I kind of like that. I like that a lot, actually. But what if I do stuff while I'm holding? Oh, see, it has like, yeah. And then what about, yep. Nice. I guess this would be hard to do for Street Fighter because it's 6 buttons. So you'd have to add more and more columns. But I like this. This is really interesting, actually. Certain moves knock the opponent in the air, letting you do follow-up attacks for heavy damage. See the command list for basic combos, left, right, turn pages, do 35 plus damage to the combo. I feel like that's kind of jumping the gun here. They just say do a combo. They don't have like a custom combo per character. It's just out of nowhere. They're just like, hey man, do a combo. Let's see the command list. 4 plus kick plus G, squiggly delta line. And can I click on this to show me? Yeah, this is not good. No demo, no explanation of what this means. Like, I've been playing fighting games for a decade. I don't know what that squiggly line means. Well, we have a launcher now, so I might as well just mash. Mashing at this point is more effective. If you're thrown from the side, press the direction your character is thrown from and PG. If thrown from the right, press forward PG. If thrown from the left, press back PG. Okay, side throw. My brain is hurting. Okay. I don't know which side they're referring to though. I'm getting lost in 3-dimensional space here. That was my character's left arm, so I did left. That was my character's left arm, so I did left. That's right. Okay. That's right. Yep. Holy shit. That's right. People play this game? If you try a defensive move but fail to evade your opponent's strike, you'll be at a disadvantage. But if you quickly enter forward forward G or down forward G after the defensive move, you can improve things. You fucked up, but you can improve things at least. Things can get better. Absorb the disadvantage. I think what's happening is I'm canceling my sidestep into a dash, right? And then I'm canceling my sidestep into a dash, then canceling my dash into a guard. Now what's happening is you are improving things. Sure, they could explain to me how the mechanics work together from a holistic point of view and let me understand the system organically and how things interact rather than spoon feeding and segmenting off individual portions. Or they can just say it's improving things. Here, do this magical button sequence without understanding why, because it's improving things. That's the problem with a lot of fighting game tutorials, is they don't teach you anything. They just say copy paste this, and that's good sometimes, but you know, like sometimes you need to understand how the whole picture comes together. And if you learn how the mechanics work and how they interact with each other, you can figure these things out on your own eventually. But Here they're just like, do this, bro. Trust me, it works. That's it. All right, I know how to play Virtua Fighter 5 now. Sweet. So tutorial, honestly, it wasn't the worst thing in the world. I feel like if I didn't have 10 years of playing Street Fighter under my belt and a room full of 600 plus dumpster divers coaching me, I might have had a much harder time. It's not good, but it's not the worst. I did like some of the features of it. I'm glad they have it at least, but it's not good. I can't call it good. So that said, you know, at the beginning of this was all about the discussion around this game. I have to be honest, I had a lot of fun playing this game. However, all fighting games are fun when you just don't care and you're mashing in the beginning, all right? All fighting games have the honeymoon phase where you just have fun doing whatever the hell you want. Here's my take. I strongly feel that it is a horrible, horrible, horrible play by the developers to purposely release a game which is not considering all regions for net play and to use that to gauge interest in future titles. I think it makes no sense. The netcode experience is good for me, but I don't really know what the delay should feel like. I might live near Relay. If you're not near Relay, then you're screwed. And that's just it. So a fighting game coming out in 2021, which was geared towards esports, which does not support optimal online play, where you have to only play within certain regions, is just dead in the water to me. Dead in the water. Yeah, it's just a band-aid on bad delay-based implementation. As far as I'm concerned, using this as the metric to gauge interest in future titles, I feel like it's really disingenuous and is really a slap in the face, I think, to competitive fighting game players. However, I can see it being like a way to gauge interest, like if casual people just want to mash with it, because mashing with it is fun. And the casual audience makes up a large, much larger portion of the audience of any fighting game always, right? The people who actually care about the online play are a small portion of it. But I feel like we got to start shifting our mindset a lot in the FGC and the devs' minds as well. So that's why a lot of people are being vocal about not supporting the game, even though it's free to play. So I kind of totally agree with that, man. There's no purpose or point to releasing a game in 2021 if you're not making the net play a priority. That's how I feel. Now, it's a little bit more complicated than that because people definitely overlook flaws in games for franchises they love. Like I put up with Street Fighter 5 and it got better, but would I have done that for a game I wasn't as invested in? No, I wouldn't have done that. That is a fact. So I'm sure diehard Virtua Fighter fans will overlook that because they love the series, and that's fine. I just think as a developer, you can't expect growth and you can't expect people to support your product if you're not actually putting out a product that is meeting the needs of the modern FGC, which is good online play. But I gotta add the caveat. My connections today felt good. They felt good, but the problem is I can't speak for everybody. It needs to be supporting the worst case scenario. The edge cases need to be decent. That's the problem. If I'm going to rate the game overall here for value, I'd give it like a 5 out of 0 because it's a free game. If this was a paid for game, it wouldn't be that impressive of a package. It'd be like a 5 out of 10, but it's a free game, so you can't divide by 0. It has infinite value. The UI is kind of jank. There's some weird stuff with the UI. The costume selection is kind of jank. The tutorial is archaic. It has some information in there, but it's not going to help somebody who's new to fighting games at all. And training mode, I didn't really get into it that much. It has one at least. So as a package, it's very bare bones, but it's also a free game. So that's what I'm saying for value. You can overlook that. Net play, I don't know how to rate it either. I had an 8 out of 10 experience, but it's also delay-based relay, so 8 out of 0 again. You can't judge it from one person's perspective. Funny factor, 10 out of 10. It was very funny, mashing, crouching, light punch over and over. Overall, I don't know. I might mash with this game a little bit here and there, but it's dealing Virtua Fighter fans a rough draw. If they wanted to knock this out of the park, it should have came out with valid rollback netcode or something that doesn't rely on relay servers, because that also means there's an expiration date. When the servers go down, that's it. You won't be able to play the game anymore. If you're going to do that as a developer, it's really like messed up to rely on goodwill of the community. And I don't think that the community should feel responsible for the success of their games. I think that needs to end. I think the products need to be able to stand on their own and be successful on their own, and not be successful because the community is willing to overlook the shortcomings and support that. At the end of the day, though, it's a free game. I had fun mashing with it. I would never play this competitively. Do what you will with that information, right? And that's kind of my thoughts on the whole debacle. But it is fun to mash in. I will say that.